In this video, let's discuss about how to hide an attribute hierarchy in SSAS. Okay, in last video we discussed about how to hide, how to disable an attribute hierarchy in SSAS. Now the continuation video. So to hide an attribute means the attribute will be available for querying, but it will not shown to the users. Okay, for example, let's say calendar semester. And if you remember, or if you have seen the other video, the calendar quarter, I disabled it by using the property attribute hierarchy enable setting to false. Now here in this case, I'm dealing with a calendar semester, and I'm gonna hide this attribute instead of disabling it. To hide an attribute, you need to go for attribute hierarchy visible property and set it to false. Now, what is the difference between hierarchy disabled and hide, right? So first, whenever you take an attribute during the processing, first it will check whether the property hierarchy enable is set to true or false. If it is set to false, then it will not be shown to the users and it cannot be used in your hierarchies, user-defined hierarchies. It will check all these scenarios. When it comes to hierarchy hidden, attribute hierarchy hidden, that means you can use this attribute in defining your user-defined hierarchies, and you can use this attribute in your MDX queries, and you can use this attribute even in ordering of the other attributes and all, but this will not be shown in your drop-down list in the browser option. For example, now this is hidden, sorry, this is disabled and this is hidden. Now let me process this dimension and show you the difference between these two. Okay, first. Okay, run. Process successfully. And when you go to the browser, it will be the same for both. That means the hierarchy disabled and the attribute hierarchy hidden, both will not be shown in your browser. This is the first point you have to keep in mind when you talk about attribute hierarchy enabled and attribute hierarchy visible properties set to false. Now the second thing, when it is disabled, you can't use it in defining your user-defined hierarchies because it will say the attribute enable property is set to false, so it cannot be used in defining user-defined hierarchies. And that's not the case with the attribute hierarchy visible set to false. You can use these attributes in defining your user-defined hierarchies. Okay, this is one major difference. And the third point to note here is the attribute hierarchy visible set to false. For example, in our case, it's calendar semester, can be used in your MDX queries. It will have data, you can use it, but it won't be shown. You have to directly write it like dim_date.calendarsemester is the attribute how you represent an attribute in MDX. If you call this attribute, it will get you the data, but not the case with the attribute which is disabled. In our case, it is calendar quarter. You cannot use that one in your MDX. And the fourth point to note is you can use both the attributes to order a different attribute. For example, physical quarter, if you want to order it, you can use the attribute disabled one, the attribute hidden one. Either one you can use. There is no difference in that one. So this is about attribute hierarchy visible set to false property, which can be used to hide the attribute. And if you want to use the same attribute for designing your user-defined hierarchies, then go with attribute hierarchy visible set to false. Hope you understood the concepts, and in next video let's see how you can order an attribute based on another attribute. Okay, that's also an important interrogation. Stay tuned to view more and more videos on SSIS, SSAS, and SSRS interrogations. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.